What's going on, y'all? My name is Brian Sanchez, and welcome to Living the Magic. I want to take this episode to just revel in all the amazing announcements and stuff that we got related to Marvel during San Diego Comic-Con, which took place this past weekend. And based on what we got, how that's going to impact what Disney's going to do at D23, which is coming up in September. If you don't know, D23 is essentially Disney's version of a fan convention, Comic-Con level sort of event that they love to drop a lot of information about. And to be honest with you, over the years, I had expected Marvel now being rolled into Disney the way it is to put less emphasis on San Diego Comic-Con and more emphasis on D23 because they love that synergy over there with Disney and Marvel and stuff. But they still seem to swing really, really hard at San Diego Comic-Con. And so talk a little bit about what I think might still be being announced and what may come at D23. But first of all, man, if you have been at all following the announcements that came out of the Hall H panel at D20 or at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm going to get these mixed up throughout this entire video. Slew of release dates and confirmation of projects that are coming that we expected to hear about, and a slew of things that we did not expect to get at all. Things that really shocked and awed. And then, of course, some really awesome trailers, two really great ones, one for a Disney Plus show and one for the biggest one, which I'll get to, which is Wakanda Forever, which is the next Marvel movie that's coming out in November. But just to do a quick recap to try and keep this as concise as possible, if you weren't following along and you didn't hear what was coming. So I'm going to go down the list real quick. These are the movies that Marvel announced. They put release dates out. Of course, things can shift around, but these are the dates that Marvel released. So, of course, next up, we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever being released this year, November 11th. And then next year in February, you have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Some things got teased and announced about that. That's really, really cool. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is next year, May of 2023. Heard that James Gunn said something to the effect of this will be the final chapter of his version of Guardians of the Galaxy, so this could be the conclusion of a Guardians trilogy. The Marvels coming in July of 23, which is next year. This also, of course, coming off of the Disney Plus series that recently wrapped up, Miss Marvel, which I probably need to do a whole episode on because that was fantastic. And then you have Blade coming in November of 2023. Teases from the Eternals for that one. Captain America New World Order in May of 2024. This would, of course, be the continuation of Falcon and the Winter Soldier that wraps up from Disney Plus. Thunderbolts. I don't know much about Thunderbolts, but that is a film coming in July of 2024. And then these last three that got announced were ones that I don't think anyone was really expecting to hear, but we got confirmation of in November of 2024, we're getting a new Fantastic Four film, which is incredible. And then two new Avengers films, Avengers, coming in the same year. In May of 2025, you have Avengers The Kang Dynasty. And then you have November of 2025, you have Avengers Secret Wars. And if you're a huge comic book fan, the mention of Secret Wars just makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and it is fantastic. If you don't know what the Secret Wars are, it's essentially a big Thanos Infinity War series of events, kind of like that scale of crossovers where different versions of the characters from different multiverses and just like pretty much everyone across the Marvel universe basically coming in to basically fight each other in this giant battle. It seems like the kind of thing that you would definitely want to be aiming towards over the next few years. And there had been a lot of criticism over the last year or so that we didn't really know what the Marvel Cinematic Universe was kind of pointing to. There wasn't really a clear direction the way that, the Infinity Stones started getting teased fairly early on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they started putting out more regular, films. And so I think a lot of folks had speculated and maybe hoped that Secret Wars was going to be the thing, but it seems that is in fact the path they're going on. Also announced and confirmed are a bunch of new series for Disney Plus. So the next one to come up, we got a trailer for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, which actually looks really fun. I know this got a lot of flack in the first teaser trailers that the effects looked really bad. They looked much better in this next trailer that we got, and I'm sure by the time the show comes around, there will definitely be improvements, but you have to understand this is TV. It's on a different production schedule. There's a lot less time that goes into it. And so with that kind of a thing, there may be some sacrifices made in the quote unquote overall quality of the visual effects in these shows. But I think it still looks great. It looks a lot of fun. And it seemed to be that Daredevil was kind of teased in there, which I'll get back to in a little bit. We got She-Hulk, and then you have confirmed for 2022 season 2 of What If, so that's coming back if you loved those stories, which I really, really did. You have the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special coming this December. Can't wait for that. That's going to probably be a whole lot of fun. And then spring of 2023, you got Secret Invasion, so that is continuations of the Kree story with Miss Marvel and that kind of thing. There's not a whole lot of information about what's going to happen in that, but that seems like a really, really fun one. This is one I don't know anything about. It's called Echo, but that is coming in summer of 2023. Loki Season 2, summer of 2023. Cannot wait for that. We are huge Loki fans in this household. And then you got some information about Ironheart. And again, this was another a character that I really didn't know anything about, but after watching the Wakanda Forever trailer, which we'll get to talking about here in a little bit, learned a little bit more about this, and I am really, really excited for Ironheart. And then this was probably the last two are the biggest ones. I don't think many people were expecting to get a confirmation for in spring of 2024, Daredevil Born Again, where Charlie Cox will be reprising his role as Daredevil. So continuing the Netflix days, we already had, his appearance in Spider-Man in the last Spider-Man film. And of course, Vincent D'Onofrio was playing Kingpin in the Hawkeye series. So it only makes sense to continue those characters. They are huge fan favorites. Cannot wait for that one. And then this last one, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, coming winter of 2023/2024. The date here on what I'm looking at seems weird, but it's probably 2024. I have also heard that there's been some delays with production on set with that one, but apparently that one is in production currently right now. But it was Agatha all along. We absolutely fell in love with the character of Agatha Harkness during, her time on WandaVision. Might be one of my favorite Marvel things ever, that show. I may be in the minority in there, but yeah, tons and tons of new Marvel stuff getting announced, which makes me think, what are they going to talk about when the Marvel panel comes for D23 in September? And I'm sure there can be plenty more stuff to come. I'm sure they will be hyping up Wakanda Forever because that comes out in November, and that'll be after D23, so I'm sure there'll just be more and more build up to that, but probably a couple other things that they haven't put out just yet. Sorry, I had to cough there. So yeah, we got trailers, like I said, for She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which looks so much fun. But let's be real. The biggest heavy hitter and the biggest thing that came out of, all the Marvel stuff at D23 at San Diego Comic-Con, see, I told you I was going to be messing this up the entire time, is the trailer for Wakanda Forever, the new Black Panther film. And of course, this was going to be an emotional thing, but there was a lot of questions coming into this about how the death of Chadwick Boseman really affected this film moving forward. There's conversation that circled about, do you recast the character of T'Challa? Because T'Challa, what that character represents to so many people, that legacy deserves to be upheld. There's conversation that you don't recast that character out of respect for the performance that Chadwick Boseman put into this character, with battling cancer through the last handful of, years of his life, and that very, very, very few people, not even the folks at Marvel, knew that he was fighting this fight essentially for his life while doing the amazing work that he did and the roles that he did, specifically in Black Panther. So, there's a lot of conversation about that. And the trailer gave us the answer that no, they are not recasting T'Challa. T'Challa has passed in the cinematic universe. In this film, we basically in the trailer get to see clips for what we assume is some sort of funeral ceremony celebrating his life. But we also get to see the character of his mother reeling over the fact that, her son, her husband, and maybe her daughter as well, because she does say something along the lines of, my whole family has been taken from me. And Shuri was there. So is Shuri dead at some point in this film? Has she just been captured? Has she been kidnapped? What's going on there? That's very intriguing, but an amazing performance just from the trailer. The trailer looks so great. They allude to someone donning the Black Panther suit at the end of this trailer. And from my eyes, it looks very similar to the suit that Michael B. Jordan donned at the end of the first Black Panther film. And so whether this is a multiverse version of Eric Killmonger, if this is a way that they found a way to bring him back to life, which the events of Moon Knight kind of showed that, yeah, people that have died can be brought back to life in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, and of course, it's comics, it's movies. No one's ever really dead if they don't want them to be. They'll find ways to bring them back. But I personally think that is alluding to Michael B. Jordan's return and Killmonger, the character, coming back. Could very well be Shuri donning the Black Panther suit and taking over the mantle of, the ruler of Wakanda, the leader, the queen, and also using her intellect and skills to be the next Black Panther. But there's also a moment in this trailer that alludes to the character of Ironheart. And I forget the name of the character. And this was something that I didn't know much about the series Ironheart coming. I had heard that they were doing something called Ironheart, but didn't really know what it is. But essentially, I was under the impression that Shuri, in a certain run of the comics, donned an Iron Man suit and kind of learned from a hologram version of Tony Stark to kind of take up the mantle of being Iron Man. But apparently that is not the case. I was confusing her with a different character, and we get to see some imagery of that character hammering out what looks to be like an iron heart out of metal, what probably most likely is vibranium. And so we're probably going to get the origins of the character for Ironheart, which ties into the Ironheart series coming in on Disney+. I mean, look, if you love synergy, the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Disney is definitely the place for you. So I'm really, really excited about that. But of course, in addition to all of that great stuff that we got in the Wakanda Forever trailer, we got our first looks at the character of Namor. And Namor is essentially, I don't want to say essentially an Aquaman character because Aquaman came later, but it's the closest comparison I think most people will draw. And half man, human, half Atlantean, but apparently he is also a mutant, which has X-Men tie-ins, which of course they're building towards in all of these, series and movies. But the inclusion of what appears to be Mayan or Aztec, Central American, culture, history into the look and feel of what Atlantis is really, really awesome. I love the fact that they're kind of building these worlds to represent different cultures in these cinematic movies and series and stuff like that. This one really got me so excited. I think It's just going to be really, really awesome. Typically, I think in the comics, the character of Namor is sort of an anti-hero, so I don't necessarily think he's going to be just an outright villain in this film. I think he's probably going to be a situation where it starts off where he is going to war with the Wakandans for some wrong that was done to him or to Atlantis or to the people, that he is sworn to protect. And it's probably going to be some kind of like misdirection from somewhere else, outside government, some other villain. Keep hearing rumors that this would be Doctor Doom's entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, setting up Fantastic Four and stuff. I haven't seen anything in the trailer that would make me point and say, oh, look, that's Doctor Doom, but it doesn't make sense with the history of the character of Victor Von Doom being a corporate entity, bad guy kind of thing that he does, for that to be tied into some kind of story about outside world governments trying to control the resources of, these other countries and other places to try to exploit their resources of vibranium or technology and all those kind of things. So that could definitely be a way that they go with this story. Either way, day one, we're going to be in that theater because it looks absolutely fantastic. This trailer made me cry. It really, really did. I've probably watched it 5 or 6 times at least. I'll probably watch it a few more times today because every time I do, I just get so emotional and then so jazzed for this film to come out. I cannot wait. But those are essentially the big announcements for Marvel from San Diego Comic-Con, which, again, like I alluded to in the beginning, leads me to think that maybe Disney's not going to be as Marvel heavy come D23. There will be a Marvel panel, and like I said, we'll probably get like another trailer for Wakanda Forever. Maybe we'll get a confirmation of like a return of like Michael B. Jordan or something like that. We'll definitely get some stuff. There are a few dates that were put up on some graphics during the Marvel panel that didn't have titles. Some more stuff in 2024, 2025. So we'll definitely, probably get announcements of a couple of new films, things that are going to fill in the gaps for those. But I don't think that Disney's going to be very heavily leaning into Marvel come D23, which leads me to believe that they're going to have to lean heavily into the parks, which makes me happy. Because if you've been following along the news for the theme park news, there's been a lot of rumors saying that Disney is planning to do a complete overhaul of Tomorrowland at Disneyland. And it needs it. It needs it real bad. We talked about the Tomorrowland problem in an old episode. We talked about the People Mover returning rumors, last week. So definitely, you can click back and go check those videos out. But I really do think that you're going to be getting more parks related stuff at D23 than you will Marvel or even like Disney film stuff. I'm sure there will be a Disney Films panel that will talk about releases of things, maybe Haunted Mansion. There's rumors to be not rumors, like it's been confirmed. They are in production. It's pre-production, but they are working on a Haunted Mansion film that apparently is supposed to tie into the Jungle Cruise film, possibly Pirates of the Caribbean and other things that, they might be working on. So maybe we get a little more information about those. Disney Plus series, animation stuff coming, Pixar, all those things will definitely be up front and center. But I think the biggest announcements, and if Disney wants to repair the reputation of their CEO who just got a 3-year extension in front of their biggest, most dedicated fan base, they better trot him out there and better give him some really, really good news to deliver to us fans who will be in the Anaheim Convention Center and, of course, watching the internet for every bit of information that comes out. So that's going to be it for me. Let me know what you guys thought of the Wakanda Forever trailer. What else did you guys enjoy from San Diego Comic-Con? We got a lot of DC stuff, a lot of unrelated to Disney stuff, that I was really excited about. Sandman looks really cool and a bunch of other things. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think will be coming in D23. Let me know what you thought of Wakanda Forever. Are you excited for any of these new films and TV shows? I mean, season 2 of Loki, I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to Captain America, New World Order. And of course, Black Panther just seems like it's going to be the coolest thing. Also, Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. Who saw that coming? I didn't. It looks, even just the title. Come on. the Kang Dynasty, Kang the Conqueror. Bring them in. Let's do this. Anyways, all right, I'm rambling now, which usually means it's time to wrap this up. So thank you much for watching the video or listening to the podcast. Really do appreciate it. If you want to join in the conversation and never miss one of these, make sure you are subscribed on all the outlets, YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, signalpointmedia.com/livingthemagic. And of course, if you want to get at me on Twitter, I am at your Primo Brian on Twitter. You can tell me how stupid I am, how much my videos suck, or, ask me any kind of questions and I'll definitely get back at you. So that's going to do it for me today. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the podcast. We will see y'all around. And as always, hungaloosh.